Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lo-Fi Life. I'm Leslie and I was really brainstorming what kind of video I wanted to make today with Christmas being just around the corner. Because I don't want to do another to-do list or declutter type of list. I don't want to add more to your already stressful holiday. And of course the sun is like right in my face as soon as I start recording. Anyway, I didn't want to add more stress to your plate. So for today's video, I'm just going to talk about 10 things that I am not doing in these last few days before Christmas. So number one, I am not panic buying extra gifts. So I already budgeted and bought gifts for everyone on my list. So anyone who I'm expecting a gift from, or people who I'm close with, or teachers and those kind of people, coworkers, I have already covered all of these people. So if there is someone who I happen to leave out, someone who gets me something and I don't have something in return, I am not stressing about that. I'm not panic buying. It is what it is. It'll be okay. I am not rushing out to buy extra presents. Everything is done and I have crossed that off my to-do list. All right, fix the light so I'm not looking directly into the sun. So number two, I am not trying to suddenly fix my budget. So if you were like me and you overspent a little bit for Christmas, maybe you overspent on Black Friday, some of the stuff I bought was actually essentials that I was stocking up on, but I still spent more than I was expecting to. So I am definitely a little bit behind my budget as far as the end of the year, but I am not super stressed over it. It's not anything where we're going into debt. I'm not trying to punish myself or deprive myself or anything like that. And if you do watch my Budget With Me series, so I actually didn't make a budget for December. My goal is just to get back to normal. Don't buy extra stuff that I don't need. Don't even buy extra stuff that I do need because honestly, I probably stocked up on it for Black Friday anyway. So I'm not trying to completely repair and fix my budget right now, especially in these last few days before Christmas. That is something that I will look into for New Year or into January when I look at my end of the year expenses and how my year went. So as much as I push for budgeting and as much as I like doing that for myself, it is not something to do in this last week before Christmas when you're already stressed out. Number three, I am not falling for last minute sales. So very similar to the last one, I already bought plenty of stuff for Black Friday. I have all the gifts I need. I have backup items for stuff I already use, like my personal care items and vitamins and all that kind of thing. So I am not falling for these last minute sales that are trying to get me to spend more of my money, and you shouldn't either. Number four, I am not overcomplicating Christmas dinner. So if you're like me and you are hosting Christmas dinner, it can be really hard to not stress out over what to make. But for me, I chose something that is super simple because I've never hosted more than basically my family plus like a couple other people. So we are actually doing pork shoulder in the slow cooker and rice and beans. I'm going to buy a cheesecake for dessert, maybe a red velvet cake or something. We're probably going to make some cookies just because my daughter wants to put some out for Santa. And I mean, maybe a coleslaw. Oh, I bought a frozen Stouffer's mac and cheese. So I'm keeping it super simple and easy. Things like what I mentioned are really easy to make for a big group. So this is something that will be pretty stress-free, I'm hoping, on Christmas Day. So do not stress over Christmas dinner. The important thing is to keep it manageable rather than doing a whole lot of over-the-top recipes or things that you've never tried before. Most people are there just to spend time with each other, and as long as your meal is somewhat decent, most people don't care that much. I don't know, maybe they do. I know I don't. It's really not that serious. So just do what you can without stressing yourself out too much. And it looks like Pixel's gonna join me. Oh, of course she knocks over everything, shakes the camera. I was trying to adjust the frame to get Pixel in here, but she's a little bit too far down. Anyway, so number five, I am not comparing our family's Christmas to other families on social media, or honestly, other families that we know in real life. I am just not comparing what we do to other people. So recently, I was actually a little bummed because my daughter brought home a form she had to fill out for kindergarten. because they were all talking about their family's traditions and favorite Christmas songs and favorite dishes. And we just don't really have that. We don't have too many actual traditions aside from like opening presents on Christmas Day. And also, my daughter is 6, so I mean, we're kind of just getting to that point where she's old enough to actually have traditions. But anyway, I did feel kind of bad because I'm like, she doesn't have a favorite song, she doesn't have a favorite dish, we don't have many traditions that we can put down. So yeah, I was a little worried in the moment of, am I doing something wrong? Is my daughter missing out? Because are we just being lazy? But it is totally okay. And like I said, as she gets older, I'm sure we will start to develop some of these traditions. And she always has a really great time on Christmas, of course. So it's totally fine if you're like me, maybe you do different things year to year. You don't have an exact like set schedule. It's totally fine. And the same thing with like your decorations, your Christmas dinner, all of these things. Maybe the number of presents that you're getting for your child or for your spouse or whoever. Don't compare yourself to what other people are doing. You know your limits, you know your budget, you know your family. It's everything is whatever you want it to be. Don't feel pressure to do what other people are doing, to blow all of your money trying to make your Christmas look like someone else's. Also, don't stress yourself out about doing all of your Christmas activities. Maybe you only pick a couple of things that your family does. That's fine. Whatever works for you. Number 6, similar to that, I am not adding new traditions this late in the year. So the last few days before Christmas is not the time to be reevaluating your traditions and starting new ones and adding all of these new things to your plate when you already have so much to do. So unless it's something simple that you really want to do, don't worry about adding new things this close to Christmas. Number 7, I am not aiming for a perfectly clean home. So I'm someone who I do have a cleaning lady who comes once a month to do the deep cleaning because for one, I'm not very good at it. And for two, I don't want to spend that much time doing deep cleaning when I have so little time with my family as it is because of my work schedule and my husband's work schedule and our daughter's schedule. It's just such a mess. We don't have that much time to just spend together. So I do outsource a lot of the deep cleaning. Aside from that, it's just the normal, like everyday picking up around the house and that kind of thing. And it's really hard to stay on top of that, especially if you have a child. I'm sure any parent would understand. Even if you don't, though, it can be a little difficult, especially if you are living with someone else. Although I'm not gonna lie, when I lived by myself, I was so bad about keeping up with the cleaning, even living by myself. So some of this is kind of a me problem, to be honest, but definitely don't feel pressure to have your house look super spotless and super clean. If you're having guests over, maybe have your main areas where you're having people, like the living room and the kitchen or something like that. Have those tidy, but if your room's a little messy or whatever, it's not that serious. Just do what you can and don't feel that kind of pressure. And number 8, so going back to what I mentioned about my daughter, I am not putting pressure on myself to make every Christmas magical, and especially this late in the game. So if there are some things that maybe we're not doing that would probably be something my daughter would enjoy, it's kind of late to add that to what we're doing already. So I'm not putting pressure on myself. And like I said, my daughter she loves Christmas as it is. She's just happy with anything. She's one of those kids. We are so lucky, and I guess not even just luck. I mean, we've really tried to instill in her things that, like being happy with the little things, like the little things in life. So she's pretty good about doing that. And she gets super hyped over literally everything. So I don't have to put pressure on myself to make everything magical. So hopefully you don't feel that pressure either. And if things aren't perfect or over the top and you just have kind of a low-key Christmas, that is totally fine too. So do whatever works for you. And number 9, I am not explaining or justifying our choices. So again, like I mentioned, with us maybe not having as many traditions as other people, maybe we don't get as many gifts as other people. Although honestly, this year we kind of did. We actually got quite a few things for our daughter for Christmas this year. But in the past, especially last year, and honestly most of the years leading up until now, we really didn't get her that much, because she doesn't need that much, and she has a small room. She has her grandparents who get her things, and she really just didn't need that much from us. And I kind of felt like I needed to justify the fact that we didn't give her that many presents, but in reality, it's kind of no one's business, for one. But also, like I said, she didn't need it. There's no need to justify certain decisions like that. And same with making plans. I mean, I'm sure we do a lot less than a lot of other families, but we have a very busy schedule and we really value our family time together at home anyway. And sitting at home and doing little home activities is good enough for us. So that's something that we don't feel the need to justify either. And again, especially this close to Christmas, I am not going to be adding a lot of stuff this late in the season. And similar to the budget one, number 10, I am not trying to reset my life before Christmas. So I know this is the time of year where everyone is starting to think about New Year's resolutions, which is totally fair. And it's always good to reevaluate how your life is and, your goals and how you're doing with everything. But these last few days before Christmas is not the time to do that. Save that until after Christmas, after the chaos and stress and after everything is done. Then you can work on your New Year's resolutions and resetting your goals and whatever you want to do. But this is not the time to be resetting your life. So for me, I am not doing decluttering. I am not doing any kind of heavy budget makeovers, even though I do have it in my head already what I want to do. I'm not working on any of that right now. I am saving that for after Christmas. So I know this video was short and sweet, but I think that is totally perfect for this week because it can be such a stressful time. I really hope that you're able to slow down. If you haven't watched it already, I did post a video about slowing down for Christmas that may be helpful to watch, especially if you're feeling very stressed out right now. So some of these things I've talked about, like the video for slowing down for Christmas, the things I've mentioned now that I'm not doing in these last few days, I have actually had a pretty, I don't want to say completely stress-free because that's it. I mean, it is a busy time of year, so it's not completely stress-free, but I have had a pretty low stress holiday, and I'm just so happy that I was able to take some of these things to heart and apply them to my life and really make sure that I don't cause myself too much stress and what should be a really fun time of year to celebrate with your family and your friends. So I really hope this helped you. Is there anything that you are not doing in these last few days before Christmas? Let me know in the comments and be sure to like and subscribe to my small little channel here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.